Welcome to Claiming Pleasure with Malika. We have another wonderful Aftercare episode with Lilli. Hi, Lilli.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about Sonia Houria-Rivas and our conversation with her.
Fabulous conversation. I am loving this podcast and the amazing humans you get on it.
Me too. I'm so blessed. Like you. You're an amazing human. I'm blessed to have you in my life.
You had a thing we had talked about that you wanted to kickstart with. So let's go to that.
Yes, I want to apologize to men. I've realized that in the last episode, I said something that sounded to me kind of rude. And when I listened back to it, I thought, that's not who I am. I like to think of myself as an inclusive person. And I said something about people who need to not take things personally. And by people, I mean men. And I realized that's a very rude thing to say. There are a lot of women who take things personally. And there are a lot of men who don't.
Thank you for that reflection. And I suppose that's what this is all about, is that reflection moment that we have when we are listening to people. And the difficulty actually sometimes of listening to yourself is very real as well. It's an incredible opportunity to listen to yourself and to reflect. I don't think some people reflect even when they do hear themselves. So thank you.
That's true. We can always improve. We can always reflect and grow. I don't think we're ever done growing.
We, in our last conversation, were reflecting on some of the things that Sonia was saying. And one of the things that I was really interested in is this concept of replacing addictions. She talked about how when she was seeking joy or following joy, the surfing became an addiction. If she didn't have that one thing, she couldn't be happy. So there was still this unhealthy relationship with an activity to calm her mind, which is a really interesting thing. I think as a person who has come from a family that has addiction in the growing up of our family, in the social learning, in the learning to being, as well as I believe in the genetics. I know this is often argued, but I really do feel like I experience the genetics of the addiction characters and personalities of who I've come from, actually, from my father. And often in the realms of addiction, this thread of thought that is given to you or is learned as a tool is to replace an addiction with something. If you want to eat that piece of sugar, replace it with a carrot or replace it with a cucumber. If you want to drink alcohol, try going for a walk, try going for a run, get your endorphin another way, like replace that seeking methodology with another form of seeking that's healthier seeking. And it really hit me that it is addiction replacement. And if you do actually stay within addiction replacement, it's just as damaging, or can be. That replacement is a transition method. Being aware of transitional activities and that you're transitioning to learn something in particular, that's cool. That's really, really cool. I loved that learning and that sort of bringing that back up to the forefront of my mind. We all have objects while we're in transition. Even a child has a teddy bear while they're in transition to learn to letting go or feeling comfortable or feeling secure or whatever it is. We can look throughout all of our life for these transitional objects, and that awareness to keep making it transitional as we keep learning and growing. Oh, I liked that from that conversation. That was something that really struck me.
Because I think a lot of us do have addictions in our family and that we are healing from. And again, it's only through that awareness that we can change those things. And it is interesting when we pivot and we think, well, we're doing something that's good, but then that becomes something else that's unhealthy. I know it's one of my favorite quotes is Maya Angelou, moderation in everything, including moderation.
That's cool. Gina Chick says awareness is a solvent.
Yeah.
That conscious thought.
We cannot change what we are not aware of.
Yeah.
That is that's the first key to changing. I guess with Sonia, A classic survivor thing is the disconnect from the body and not listening to the body. That's how she ended up breaking her back with surfing. That's how she ended up in the hospital after doing 100 pull-ups in 30 minutes.
It is interesting. I grew up with a lot of pain from endometriosis. And I think the survival to continue interacting with other humans and being in a community and actually just being a teenager, I had to disconnect from my body. Like, there was the childhood with domestic violence. And then there was this pain that was so crippling that it is a consistent and forever mindful learning for me that I can connect to my body. It's a thing that I have to work very, very hard at to not disconnect. I do that very, very easily. That disconnection has led to almost dying in hospital and all sorts of things because I just don't feel pain. I don't allow my brain to register the messages of pain. By the time I'm talking about it, I'm in real trouble.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that parallel amongst so many women. So many survivors of abuse, male, female, whatever gender you're choosing.
Yeah.
It's consistent narrative. Do we call it a narrative experience?
Survival mechanism.
Yeah. All of the above.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever one thing.
Which is why we need to be curious about ourselves and what happened to us. What do we want for ourselves going forwards? Going through that discomfort to feel all of ourselves, to be able to communicate with our body. So when it's talking to us, we're hearing it.
Which brings me to rest.
Go slow, slow.
Yeah, you're saying you loved that.
I do. Well, I thought it would resonate with you as well because here we are, we're both such busy women. We juggle so many things, you and I, Lilli. And to hear that rest, it feels kind of like a guilty pleasure, but to just stop and not do anything. I never am bored, but I procrastinate like a mother.
I think the first time I really allowed myself rest, I had to justify it in my brain, was when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm growing a human. I'm going to lie down. I don't know what people do when they go to holidays on resorts. Like, they don't do anything. That to me was just shocking, that people would lie down and read a book and enjoy just being. Rest. What a beautiful reminder.
More and more research comes out saying how resting is probably the number one thing we need to be doing, making sure we get consistent sleep. And siestas are fantastic to have. I think that we are ripping ourselves off in this Western world by not having that siesta in the middle of the day, which so many other cultures and societies have embedded into their ways.
Yeah, absolutely. In El Salvador, everything closes down in that lunchtime couple of hours so that you can rest. And gosh, makes nighttime so much more fun. Talk about seeking pleasure. Dance.
Oh, that's right, because you're another dance lover.
I dance. I love to dance. I will put on music and dance in the house. I will put on music and dance in the car. Actually, talking to a lot of people who work with others, social workers, therapists, things like that, having transition songs, whatever you're working at, having a transition song in the car that flips you over into the other way. And I think we kind of got that as teenagers. When you're getting ready, you'd pump up the music, you're going to go to something. Moving the body and dancing. Yes, it's easy to say that. I have to say that as growing up as a Latina woman in Australia and as a woman in Australia, dance has been weaponized against many people. Me dancing in a space was often perceived as an invitation to dominantly men in the environment who thought that meant it was an invitation to cross boundaries, who thought that my dancing had something to do with them, which it totally doesn't. It's my feeling of music in my body that led people to forcefully and very physically try and impose themselves on me. Nightclubs, things like that became very dangerous places and meant that I stopped dancing. I've had to work really hard to reclaim dancing in public and not being concerned about whose eyes might fall on me, what the repercussions of their lack of boundaries and their emotional insecurities and their power dynamics will impact my body.
Yeah. That's very valid and kind of sad because, we want to be able to feel safe wherever we are and to feel authentically as we are in any moment, and to feel that we have to dim ourselves or even just stop doing something that brings us joy because it brings us unwanted attention sucks ass.
And it took quite a number of years of therapy to get past. If someone commented on my movement, I'd disappear. I'd go. There's no way I could stay and dance and feel joy or find that pleasure or be within my body. I would be into fear state.
So how do you feel about car dancing? You said you do car dancing.
I absolutely car dance. I car sing. My car is my rock concert. I love it. And I love going on a long drive because it's my rock concert and I can lose my voice freely and I can wiggle but still concentrate on driving safely like an adult, of course. But yeah, I love car dancing. I love any form of dancing. I will dance in the supermarket. Usually a child gives you a lot of permission to do that. Recently, I was dancing with my rolly bags in an airport with my 8-year-old, and we were ballet dancing up and down where there was space, and it was a lot of fun, and I really do enjoy it.
And it would have brought joy to other people.
Whatever, don't care.
Even better. What other people think about you is none of your business.
Yeah, I think it stressed a few of the security people, but whatever. And you had one final thing that I'm going to hand over to you. You do?
I remember. Excellent. Sonia talked about the fact that we are everything and one with everybody, that this life is so serious and yet it is also just a moment in time and that we shouldn't take it too serious. That real duality and that balance, that's another dance, I guess, of knowing your worth but also knowing that you're connected to everyone, of knowing that the things that we do are important, and also we're here for a blink of an eye in this timeline of humanity and this earth. It's a very short amount of time. So we don't want to take it so seriously that we stop having fun and we stop dancing. That was the other thing that, she talked about that really resonated with me, is that feeling that we are all amazingly unique and also one with everyone.
It's pretty beautiful. I think that wraps it up, hey?
Well, Sonia also gave us another grounding exercise. So let's have a listen to one more grounding exercise with Sonia.
If you want to do a practice that's a bit slower, and that's actually very helpful before bed, that's called resonant breathing this one, and it's doubling or tripling the length of time that it takes you to inhale, but in the exhale. So for example, you're going to breathe normally and pay attention to how long it takes you to breathe in. And then you breathe out. So most people who are dysfunctional breathers, which is literally almost all of us, it'll probably take you 2 seconds to breathe in. Maybe 3 if you're doing great. The optimal rate for us humans is 5.5 seconds in and 5.5 seconds out. So you see how out you are. Don't beat yourself up if you're not there. It's just something to work towards, and you got to work on a few aspects of your breath. But here we're not even going to worry about the mechanics of it or anything. We're just going to look at time. Let's say your breathing rate is about 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out. You're going to do your 2 seconds in, and then you're going to exhale by 4, 6, whatever you feel like you can do without stressing more. Because at first, when you do that, if you extend your breath too long on the exhale and you do it a few times, it might feel like you're out of breath and it might stress you out. So we don't want to get there yet. That's a training that you need to get through to be able to push yourself. So here we're going to do it simpler. You're going to breathe in, let's just say 3 for the average person. And if it's too long for you, just do a bit less. So breathe in, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to breathe out 9. Breathe in. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep going. Out. And just feel it. And the advantage of slowing down your exhale is that it tells your body that you are in control, that there's no urgency. Your breathing muscles are connected to your vagus nerve, which connects you to all your organs, to the base of your neck, to your ability to calm down or to get excited. So depending on how you breathe, you can manipulate that. The thing, though, is that even if you train your breath to be perfect, if you're in a situation or in a society, and we all are, that is stressful, that is too demanding, that is not conducive to health and well-being, you're going to naturally revert back to a more stressed way of breathing. While it's useful because it helps you regulate yourself, find the calm you need, find a sense of control that you might want to get, calms your mind as well. When you're stressed, you get really hyper excited neurons, which is basically your mind going way, woo. And if you can calm down, it allows you to make better decisions, to be more present, to be more connected, to also, digest better, have a better cardiovascular system. Like all your health is connected to that, to be calm or your inability to be calm. It should help you sleep and fall asleep and stay asleep better. So why not?
Which goes back to rest and how important rest is.
Heyo! Yeah, it's so important. But that's because we are constantly depleting ourselves. If we didn't do that, we probably would need to rest a lot less.
That was lovely. I feel so much more grounded now. Well, thanks again to everybody for listening to Claiming Pleasure with Malika and our Aftercare episode with Lilli. Follow us to find out when new episodes drop. Follow us on Substack. And if you've got any questions, let's keep this community having healthy, positive conversations. And remember to look for glimmers every day. Thank you.